Greetings, YouTube. I received a message from one Solus del de Falcata, and anyone who even knows what a falcata is gets props in my book. And he had a question about when should a GM change their adventure to avoid unfortunate or unforeseen circumstances. Specifically, he's requesting ideas about how to avoid a total party kill, tactical blunders, things like that. When should you change what you're doing on the fly so that things don't explode, essentially? Unless, of course, maybe you want a total party kill for a reason that the party doesn't understand. And that kind of tactical judgment is unfortunately going to come with experience. And as they say, the mistakes help you gain experience, and you get experience by making mistakes. And as a GM, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to gain that experience. And sometimes it's a matter of judging the situation about specific players. Once you get to know them, you'll know that, okay, this guy over here, he's never going to back down. He's going to keep charging ahead no matter what. So if you give him enough rope, he will hang himself every single time. And that kind of knowledge will help you as a GM understand that if I don't shorten up on that rope, this could go very bad. It's unfortunate in the situations like that do arise, but they do arise. And when I'm back in first edition, when we were playing back, in the late 70s, in the early 80s, we had deaths all the bloody time because none of us were any good at that kind of judgment call. We got good at it over time. We also, our play style changed. We got more sophisticated. We got more involved in politics and role-playing than just going out and bashing monsters. So total party kills and tactical blunders became less of an issue. But they still were present because, let's face it, battles and fighting are still important to your classic D&D game, regardless of what rule system you're playing, because it's part and parcel of the game. Look how many rules in your average D&D book are dedicated to combat. I don't care which version you're looking at, if the percentage of the rules are probably very similar in every edition, combat is important. And there are no cut and dry rules. There is no time when I can say, yes, right here is the line, and if they're on this side of it, they're safe, and if they go on this side of it, they're not safe. That line is very, very fluid. It moves back and forth constantly, and trying to pin it down is difficult to do. But for me, one of the harder decisions I've encountered is not the tactical problems, because let's face it, even if you kill a party member, that's something that can be repaired or restructured, unless it's an incredibly stupid thing like the important PC in the entire campaign or the current adventure dies. But I think on a much deeper level, one of the problems I've encountered is knowing when to stop a storyline when it's beginning to affect the player, not the character. I have unfortunately put a player into a situation where I was literally triggering a psychological episode for them inadvertently, and I did not gauge it properly, and that was a much bigger issue, because now I'm not just pooping on the fun of the people at the table, I'm starting to actually cause stress and anxiety in one of the people I'm supposed to be enjoying my time with, my hobby, having fun with. And that's a more difficult thing to do as well. I mean, that you have to really know somebody, and I judged something incorrectly. I thought something was innocuous, and it wasn't innocuous. Sometimes you just don't know that that's going to come back and bite you on the backside. And again, it comes with experience. You learn, okay, that's a subject I shouldn't touch, or that over there is something maybe I should consider only alluding to, or we should go move into that kind of a topic slowly so that people can give me some feedback about what they consider it is their feelings about it before we get all the way in. And that is also difficult to do. So I can't give you any hard and fast rules. I apologize. Sometimes it's just judgment calls, it's wisdom, it's experience. Sometimes it's luck. And sometimes you make a mistake. And sometimes you have to apologize and you try to patch things up as best you can. And if you're lucky, you can weave the mistakes into the story and move on and make the game have a little more depth. And sometimes you just have to kind of scrap what's going on and start anew and forge ahead. Unfortunately, there are times when playing role-playing games are a whole lot like life itself.